So now on to the discussion questions. I do have a slight speech impairment, so I do apologize. Just going to kind of go through the author a little bit. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. He was born in 1772, October 21st, in Devonshire, England. And he died at 61 years of age in 1834. He specialized in Romanticism, which is a form of writing emphasized with emotion, individuality, musical, and intellectual as well. It wasn't just writing, it was a mix of things. And as you already know, one of his notable works was the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, and Christabel was another one. And he is known for using a lot of anastrophes in here, and repetition and imagery, which we will go over. Now, I made my thing here mostly for my security, so if I have a brain fart, all of my words are already up there. I will take screenshots of this and post it on the discussion boards for you if you'd like to take a closer look. So this is basically a map, and we're going to start here on what is the literal meaning of the text and subtext. So the literal meaning I find in this poem is about how our actions have consequences, whether we do something or decide not to. Our fate will be decided on whether those are good decisions or not. And our choices may not affect us directly, but it may affect those around us. As for the subtext, I believe the albatross was killed and is the metaphor in the Bible dealing with Jonah. Jonah had defied God in the Bible, Jonah that was swallowed by the whale, and because of that, he becomes a burden to the ship he's on. He decided to take a nap instead of praying with the others, and indirectly brought upon a storm for his carelessness. The mariner himself directly killed the albatross, causing a curse to befall him and his men and ending the life of a holy bird. Now we're on to why did you choose this piece? And why does it speak to you? So I actually just kind of picked this on a whim. I kind of wanted to dive into something, and I read through it a little bit. I'm like, I like this. I really do. I like a good sea shanty. It tells a story, and as I've said in my other, in the previous video, that he also had it written as a song from Iron Maiden. So people often hear those quotes just from that. So as for speaking to me, it falls under my religious beliefs greatly about caring for people, animals, and the rest of God's creation. I think it's harshly put, but in a clever way to get you thinking of how everything is connected, and that if you end the life of something else or cause harm or chaos to something else, it will affect you whether directly or indirectly. And now we go to, what does the writer do you think is worth emulating or learning from? So here, and as I have been saying in many of my critiques for our workshops, I crave for details so I can paint an image in my mind. I need a set scene in my head, and I understand that poems are based on feelings and emotions, but there are still details in the form of an action or a feeling that I like to notice or sense while reading. And I find the technique that he uses in this is brilliant because he has it rhyme and still have a rhythm to it. And I love how he plays with your emotions in this, as well as keeping the story well paced. And what makes it good or not, or what parts stand out? The pacing in this story is what the ancient mariner does, and it keeps the audience captivated by his storytelling. I certainly feel the emotions the mariner is showing, such as fear, guilt, hope, joy, and sorrow. And I am especially in awe in how the author describes the game life and death play on whether or not to take souls on the ship there. And how does this piece succeed in making you feel something or understand what it means to be human? So that's right here. And it captures everything we feel in our lifetime. We experience all these emotions, such as fear as a child, unsure of the unknown. We also have fear as adults if we are hesitant of taking chances, or fear of what may happen to our loved ones or our jobs. And as teens or young adults, we cling to hope in having a brighter future, or what we may be worthy in the eyes of our peers. Sorrow is what we feel when losing a loved one or losing ourselves to something like addiction. Joy is the opposite, and is when something wonderful happens, like bringing a child into the world, buying your first house, or being cured of a deadly disease. Guilt is one of the greatest emotions mentioned in this poem. The mariner's guilt gnaws at him from the inside out, to where he seems uncertain if he's in a dream or not, based on a few of the verses. He is ashamed that he finds it difficult to pray for forgiveness. The literary devices I found fascinating was the use of anastrophes, and one of the examples is the helmsman steered, the ship moved on, yet never a breeze blew. Anastrophe is a literary technique where the writer reverses traditional sentence structure. Subject, adjective becomes adjective, subject. You use it when you want to create a dramatic emphasis or just to act wiser. Personification is another method readers found in Coleridge's piece, and he personifies the water, death, and the albatross at various moments in the poem. He also uses repetition and imagery, and I have read several lines from the poem showing this technique. So that very well concludes my report. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks for watching.